switch the camera. There we go. Let's just sit and see if anybody comes on. Wait for the notifications to come through. Hey, there's two people. What's going on, Cameron? See if we can get some more people on here. Get everything going. We can get to talking. Do some slot car chatting here. Since I quite don't have everything set up yet. Just tuned in. That just started. So we're going to be yakking and talking and answering questions and all that good kind of stuff. Just talking slot cars, finding out what you guys are doing and how the racing's going on in your area, if you guys are actually getting to do some racing. Hopefully you guys are. Hopefully you guys are at least getting together a little bit anyways. We have been here. We've done it once. Mr. Evans, what's going on? Hope everybody at least getting together with a couple of people anyways. We've gotten together once as a group since this whole thing started, and we're probably going to get together again hopefully sometime this month before the Labor Day race happens. Sue says I don't have camera on my computer. So we're gonna hopefully get together before that, and we can do some racing. Oh, all right. So what's going on here? What's this? Trying to get on to the Slot Car Crazy group page. Let them know we're live. Okay, so that's not what I want. Where's groups? So hope you guys are getting some racing done. Hopefully. What is this? We had a little bit of fun anyways with our... There we are. Let me put this up right now so we can... So we'll post that up, get that going. So, what have you guys picked up anything new lately out there? I haven't really got anything car-wise new lately. You guys saw the magnet meter that I got and the shoe tensioner gauge that I got. And that's been about it for me. I haven't bought any new slot cars in a while. Hopefully we'll be getting some more stuff here soon. I want to do a live Fray build for you guys, but I need to get a chassis ordered. I need to get running gears ordered. And I think that's it. I think I have everything else. I've got new motors. Oh, and I need motor magnets. Two guys from Wichita and myself went down to Claremore, Oklahoma. I ran my best ever Fray race. Cool, Jeff. We're hoping to have everybody up here for Labor Day race. If anybody local within the Northwest can make it, you are more than invited to come. It's going to be the Sunday of Labor Day weekend here at my place. I'll be posting all the information for that on the group page on Facebook here soon, probably today actually. We're going to be running, probably, this is the tentative schedule. We're going to be running Fray cars. We're going to be running AFX, or non-magnet traction, and we're going to be running full-body G Plus on the big layout. And we possibly might be running a fairgrounds race on the 3x5 build if I can get it, if we can get it set up right and everything to work right. We're going to have a fairgrounds race on that track as well. So hopefully we can do that. We're toying with going to Stan's house too on Saturday, but I don't think that's going to happen because he still hasn't got his other section back from Brad Bowman for his routed track, because he's switching from reed switches to a dead strip counting system on his track. So Brad was supposedly building him a new piece of track, and I don't know if Stan's got it back yet. So, but I have watched some of the Wizard build. I gotta watch all of them. I haven't watched all of them. I've kind of bit and pieced them. I gotta watch it from start to finish. But I'd like to get RC on here to talk to you guys too. Would be kind of neat on a live Q&A. Would be kind of interesting as well to talk to him about some stuff. I know he's been doing a really good, and he is a very good builder. So if you guys haven't checked that out, go check out Wizard's build on building a Fray car. It's a lot of good pointers in there. I've watched like 2 or 3 of the episodes. I think he's done like 4, I think. Something like that. Yeah, he did do a great job. I need to get, I want the Fray build I want to do. I want to use his new chassis and motor plate for. So I got to get one of them ordered. I'd like to order a couple if I could. That with the new, our next YouTube payment, I might order like 3 or 4 chassis from him to do my next Fray builds rather than going with the original T-Jet chassis. Just because I don't want to have to tear one apart. It'd be easier just to buy the chassis and stuff, because, and as far as I know, more than likely it will be okay for the Fray. I know he hasn't announced that yet, but I'm pretty sure that car will be legal at the Fray, along with more than likely the Nationals. And I know Michael's already okayed it with the. I bought 10 of them. I'm starting some new Fray builds. Cool. I know Michael has already made it legal for the his race, and I think the Ohio Cup may have also. I'm not really sure. Not really sure if they've okayed that chassis yet, but I'm pretty sure Rick Davis will okay it for the Fray. It's not really anything special, so I'm pretty sure they'll okay it for that for next year, if California gets their heads out of their butts and we can actually go down there. This better be over with by then, because that's going to be a year. Cool. Cameron, watch that videos from RC. You can learn a lot from him. We've also been kind of deconstructing. We haven't taken it apart. We've looked at it really, really close. The chassis that Elijah got from, now I can't think of his name off the top of my head, at the Fray this year. So I know we've been kind of looking at it, teching it, doing some stuff with the meters and everything, and seeing where everything's set on that car, so we can start building us some kick butt Fray cars to go back down to the Fray next year. We're hoping to do a lot better. Elijah wants to build his own car and win with his own car, but I really think he should stick to the car that he got, and unless he can build a faster car. Because I think he can make the A main with that car next year. So hopefully, he's got a brand new controller now. He's on par with everybody else controller-wise now, and I think he's going to be able to make the A main. Taking forever to get a list for track build. Brad's backed up big time, Jeff. He has a waiting list a mile long. Yeah, it takes a while to get on one of Brad's lists. There's a lot of people that want tracks from Brad, so it may take a while. I think it took Don, and this was, oh gosh, this is like 10 years ago now. Probably 10, 12 years ago now, and it took Don, I think, 2 years to even get close to getting a track done for him. So it's going to take a little while, but believe me, Jeff, it's going to be worth it. Why don't you use, why? Oh. Why do you use for rear tires and wheels and tires on Fray builds? We're using Wizards, silicone over foams. We can go as low as 326 on the routed track or on the clip together track. If you're on a routed track, you can go as low as 324. We've ran 324s on our track, but the rear gear and on occasion through the corners will drag really hard and it'll kind of slow you down a little bit. So, but that's what we use. There's Wizards. Most everybody uses Wizards. There's Identity tires as well. I don't really think anybody down there runs super tires at all. And so the majority of everybody runs Wizard tires. The ones, I will have to say, the ones that we had last year, and RC kind of knows about it, that they did have an issue with them wearing really hard. I think the silicone compound he used on those last year didn't work very well. So I think he's going to be working on something new for next year. But that's what we use. Most everybody uses Wizard tires. And then they're anywhere from 326 to 324 diameters that they're running. Hey, Robert, how are you doing? So that's what they use. That's what we use. We use a little, we've been using a little taller tire up here because of the clip together tracks. And we're going to have to build a Fray only specific car to run on Jim's racetrack. Because he's running a lock and joiner track, and you can't run a low front end on his track. You got to go back a couple years, and we'll run a higher front end on his racetrack. Our Fray cars would not work at all on his racetrack. We actually had to run our fairgrounds cars the last time we were out there because they were the Fray cars today are too low for a clip together. So. But and you can get Wizards from anywhere. RTHO sells Wizards. You can get them straight from RC himself if you want to. That's good, Robert. RTHO, I know, and Wizard. I know there's one other one. I think One Stop Slot Shop also has Wizards as well. So there's several different places you can get them from other than straight from RC himself. I think the last set I bought I got from RTHO, if I remember right. So. Oh, yep, Lucky Bob's has them too. Yep. That's the other one that I was trying to think of as well. So. Haven't bought anything from Lucky Bob's yet. I probably will before too much longer, but I got to find a new source for my stock silicone tires as well because of HOSlotCarRacing.com's demise. I'm not sure what's going to happen there and where I'm going to be because he's, for my vintage stuff and my stock parts for all my vintage cars, my AFX, my non-mag, my Magna Tractions and all that I was getting from him. So I got to find a new source for stock parts for Magna Tractions and non-mags and G-pluses and all that kind of stuff. And if you guys know of anything, just of other places where you've had good luck getting parts from, post it on the YouTube channel in the comment section. Post it on the group page on Facebook so we can get some info out there on where, especially if you were getting stuff from him, where you can turn to get other things. I haven't done a whole lot of buying since he passed away, parts-wise, so I'm not sure about where the current supply is at, and I haven't even heard who took over that. If anybody bought all that, we'll have to see. If anybody knows, put it into the comments if anybody knows what happened to HOSlotCarRacing.com's stockpile of parts. I know there was a couple people talking to his daughter, I believe, looking for some Fray bodies that are American muscle. Any suggestions? Oh, that's a good question. I don't think anybody is doing a Fray legal muscle car. I know Jeff Hurley isn't. I know Greg Davis does do a Mustang. It's the new Mustang. I'm not sure if he's still doing it anymore, but you might contact Greg's Garage. He might be able to do one for you, Jeff. Or if you want to order a couple, actually. Elijah has one, and they're really nice. They're a 2000, I think it's the 2018 or 19 Mustang, which are pretty close to the same anyways. But as far as I know, that's the only American. Nobody does older American muscle Fray bodies. So, GM? Yeah, I'm not sure about that one, Jeff. you're gonna have to kind of shop around and see what you can find. I'm not nobody that I know of makes a Fray legal or a Fray style vintage body. Have you seen the new Jag NC chassis for AFX bodies? I have not. I haven't been on there in a little while. I'll have to go check that out. I know that I was hearing that they were making a new one. Might have to see about getting one for a review. Those I love Jag chassis. The ones that I have are really good. So I might have to get one of those for that too, to see how well the bodies fit and how well the chassis performs and all that kind of stuff. They do a great job. The chassis that they came out with at the posted bodies. Oh wait, that's got a card in it. You can't see the bottom of that one. I love these cars. They work really, really well. We've raced them a couple of times in a driver's challenge. The only problem I've had with mine is we've had the traction magnet, slide out the side of the chassis and end up on the racetrack. But we super glued it back in, so hopefully that won't happen again. That's the only problem I've had with those chassis. The one that I got from Slot and Stuff that we did the review of, during the review I did have issues with the tires, but the ones that I got, I haven't had any issues with the tires. These are still the stock tires that were on it when we got them. To me, I don't know of any kind of slot car racing going on in Minnesota here where I live. There is quite a few people, Josh, in the Minnesota area. Not sure if they're around where you live. I know RC is, if I remember, no way, RC is from Wisconsin. But I do know that some people from Michigan that race slot cars. Just go on, if you're not a member of any of the groups on Facebook, kind of look around on the groups on Facebook and kind of put some feelers out there, and you probably will end up finding somebody. That's the best place to find places to race, by the way, in my opinion, is in the Facebook groups, because everybody's nice, everybody's cool. You see all kinds of cool stuff, and you end up meeting a lot of people that way. You still may have to travel a little bit, depending on where you live in Michigan, in the Michigan area. But you may never know. You may find somebody close. Let's see, we got somebody here on. Got somebody commenting there on where on YouTube. He must not be a subscriber. I'm not sure. Hold on, back up. Back. I need a new Kindle. This thing's so old. Alright. Okay, there we go. So let's see if I can bring back up. What do we got going on here? Looks like I missed a couple. Looking for racing near Philadelphia. Like I said, same answer I gave there. I've been using Bob Beers' silicone tire since 2013 or so. Before that, I bought from Tom Hester in Pennsylvania. What's a good way to get slot car group together in Lansing, Michigan area? There's somebody in Michigan. Or is that Minnesota? So there might be somebody right there. Need to build a Fray car if I find some place to race around here. Haha. You might, yeah, there's a lot of Fray car racing out there. Unpacking's going good. Kind of getting there. the track's back together. I got to put some wires back together on it yet. We put the 4-foot section back on it last night, and I've got to retie some wires that we had to undo to move to take that 4-foot section off. Hey Joe, what's up, Mr. Perkins? So I got to rewire that. I got to hook the power supply back up to it, and yeah, we're in the new house. And then we still got a bunch of setup stuff to do out there room wise. The track will be probably up and running here soon, but and then we gotta build a second set of legs for the 3x5 build. Might just build all new 4 legs for the 3x5 build so we can permanently set it up. But we're getting close. It'll be ready for September. And we are running a point series again this year. That's something else we need to meet about probably this month. We're going to be running another point series again this year. Hopefully we can get everybody involved again and get that going. So we'll be showing that again this year. We'll be running the same class as the car that we ran last year, just so Jim and Kyle can work on their cars and get stuff built up over the summer and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to keep the same. We're going to keep the same 6 classes of cars, but we're going to drop the race days to 3 races. We'll run 2 of the class cars, more than likely, because since we've got 3 and 3 of 3 pancake arm and 3 inline arm cars, we're going to run 1 pancake and inline and then a promoter's choice race. So there'll be 3 races rather than 4. Hopefully that'll shorten our day a little bit, and we're going to extend the season by 2 races to 12. And we're probably going to see maybe see 1 new racetrack, possibly 2 new racetracks next year, if John gets his done in time, and if Mark's is done, and we just haven't raced on it yet because of the whole COVID thing came up. But be on the lookout for that as well this fall. Probably starting 2 weeks after 2 weeks after Labor Day weekend, we'll be up and running, and we'll be racing again every other weekend. So all of that good kind of stuff. So other things that I'd like to throw out there, if you guys are not a member of Slot Car Crazy on Facebook, feel free to join. I've gone through quite a few notifications here lately, getting new people in and all that kind of stuff. I kind of scrutinize everybody that asks to join that group, and it's worked out very well. We haven't had a whole lot of issues with people on that group. So you have to have at least a couple of likes for slot cars or be a member of other slot car groups on Facebook to get in. I do that just simply to make sure that you're a slot car person and you're there for the slot cars and for the community, not to pitch something or to cause problems. So, and we haven't really had a whole lot of issues with that on the group page, so it's been working out pretty well. I do think I have to go through it again. I've gotten a couple of notifications. I got to go run through it again and see if there's other people that qualify and get them in there as well. So, speaking of the Facebook group, it is the first of the month. I'm going to throw this out there right now. Start sending pictures to the Facebook group for a new banner. I'll make up a new banner, and we'll throw it up on the group page on Facebook here by the end of next week. By the end of this week, I can't read, it's the beginning of the week. So, you guys, go ahead and do that, and we'll put together a collage, or I'll maybe pick the best one, or I'll pick like 5 or something, and we'll throw them up on the group page and have a vote on which one everybody likes the best. So, if you're a member of the group, start sending in pictures so we can get a new banner up. So, who else is here? Let's start seeing, where is everybody from? Because I know there's some people from here from Michigan. I know Mr. Evans is here from Kansas. Where else is everybody else from? So everybody that's watching can get an idea of where everybody's at, and maybe find out that they're close to somebody that actually races. So, as you guys know, we are here in Washington. So, Slot Car Crazy resides in Yakima, Washington, which is it's almost right smack middle of the state. We're 3 hours from Seattle. Well, actually, 2 hours and 45 minutes from Seattle. We're 3 hours west of Spokane, and we're about an hour and 15 minutes from the Oregon border, give or take, depending on which way you go. So just to let you guys know where we're from. I know that we've got people on the group page from Seattle. We've got people from Oregon, down in Bend and Eugene. There's a Spokane group that I know of that I'm a member of, and that we've talked to. Stan's talked to him, and I think I've talked to him a couple of times as well. Don't know anything about northern Idaho, if anybody is from around that area, or there used to be a good-sized base in Boise, but I'm not sure. They have kind of fallen off, so I'm not sure about that. If you guys are down in California, the San Francisco Bay Area has quite a big group. That's where Hurley and Ken Stevens and all them are from. Brad Bowman is down in the San Diego area, so that's further south. I know there's a pretty good sized contingent in the Vegas area, so if you're near Las Vegas, I think they're actually in Henderson, which is north of Vegas, but it's basically a suburb. There's a big group down in Phoenix, Glenn and them guys down there in Phoenix. Go check them out. Glenn has a group page. I just can't pull it off the top of my head right at the moment. But there's several down there from the Phoenix area, Phoenix, Yuma, that whole greater Phoenix area. Of course, you got the Kansas City boys, Jeff Kratz and Ron Schmidt, and those guys from the Kansas City area, Clint Boren, and all those guys. You've got Michael Block up there. I believe he is still in the greater Milwaukee, Wisconsin area, I believe. I think that's where he's from, if memory serves. I know he just moved into a new house, so I'm not sure where he's at right around there. So that's another good area. There's John Peckham. He is in the northern part of New York State, I think. He has an annual race in April, which I don't think they did this year. But he's in the New York area. I'm hoping the Norba Nationals makes it into Colorado within the next couple of years. I know next year they're going to still be on the East Coast, but there has been talk in 2023 possibly being in the Denver area. So if that happens, we may have a GoFundMe set up to send me and Elijah to the Harpa Nationals. And we'll tape the whole thing. We'll show you guys our races. We'll show you guys the Neo mod classes and all of that stuff, which would be kind of neat to do if they finally make it out to Colorado. It's something me and Elijah want to do and hit at least once. Hopefully they can make that happen. There was talk about it there being there last year or the year before, and it kind of fell through. But there's talk of that. There. Speaking of race groups, there is a group in North Dakota, or is it South Dakota? South Dakota. It's a pretty big group. The Hokar. I can't remember how they pronounce that name. In the South Dakota area. Can't remember what city it's in. That's where the tub track that we used to have here in Yakima is currently at. So if you guys are in the South Dakota area, there's that group there as well. Trying to think of some other ones. I know, of course, I said Mr. Evans, who's in. Can't think of it right off the top of my head. Jeff, where are you at in Kansas? I know you're not far from the Oklahoma border. I know that. If you're still on, Mr. Evans. I might want to do, just to give you guys some things of what I'm thinking of doing, I might want to do a live Q&A and see if I can't get Mr. Kevin Finley on with his he has a YouTube channel. As long as you have a YouTube channel, you can kind of do a push thing, and I'd like to get Kevin on here and get him talking, and let him talk to you guys and let him know what happened with all of that and what his future plans are. I know he just got engaged or married, one of the two, can't remember which. So I want to congratulate him on that, and he has mentioned that he will be back. Mr. Vitamin 50 will be back on YouTube here soon. but I'd like to get him on here and chat about a few things and just have some fun. Something I'd like to do, if you guys let me know if you guys think it's a good idea. I want to do a kind of a monthly get together on YouTube kind of thing where we can get 3 or 4 people a week in and just talk slot cars from different parts of the country. It would be kind of a who's who of, not a who's who, but people on YouTube and people who have YouTube channels like RC. I know Brad had one for a little while. I think he still does. Mr. Finley. John Peckham has a channel. Slot Car 64. So we thought it'd be kind of cool if maybe we could all get on and have a I want to call it turn and burn. Just a kind of a monthly update kind of thing on racing in their area and all that kind of stuff. I think it'd be kind of cool for everybody to watch and comment and talk and all that kind of stuff. So I might be sending some feelers out on that here pretty soon. I think it might be a cool once a month thing to do to get people together and talk about stuff and all that kind of stuff. I'm kind of sad to see the guys who were doing the live chats on Facebook move that to a podcast, because those guys were doing a really cool job. If you can check that out, I can't remember what they're called. If anybody can remember what they call that group, the 2 kids that are doing they're from Harpa, and they're doing live chat sessions with Harpa people and all that kind of stuff. They moved it to a podcast, which I'm a little sad about. I wish they'd do it on YouTube. But I'd like maybe want to get them on and talk to them about some things. Would be kind of cool. So if you guys think those are some good ideas, let me know. I might try and hopefully we can make that happen this winter and get some talking going on and just make this community even huger, if that's even a word. Bigger. There we go. Make it bigger. Let's see, have I missed anything here? All as well. I haven't seen anything come up in a while. Okay. Oh, here we go. Okay. So we got Massachusetts, Illinois, Minnesota. Worthington, Minnesota, Philadelphia, Saline, Michigan, or Saline. I think it's Saline. I think it's how you actually pronounce that. Checking in from the Great Lakes area. I think it's still pending. Okay, Cameron, I'll look on that, Cameron. Anybody in the Lansing, Michigan area, Worthington, Minnesota. I'm in close to Indiana. Minnesota. There's Jeff Perkins. Okay, so I got that. Let's see what else we got going here. Westfield, Massachusetts, Texas. Celine. Ken Schrader is from Chicago, Illinois. White Piggin, Michigan. Waterford, Michigan. There's a lot of Michigans right there, people. East Coast Outlaws. Robert. Hey, White Piggin, Texas. Yeah, we're in the Kansas City, Wichita, Tulsa, Oklahoma City is where Mr. Evans is from. Strong showing from Michigan. Yep. See, there's a lot out there. You just gotta put out your feelers. Robert, where are East Coast Outlaws from? What track is everyone running on? We run on a 12x4 max track, so that's a routed track. Mine is Tyco. See, Lean Jet Racing Mertz in Ashland, Massachusetts. Yeah, there we go. Evans is in Independence, Kansas. That's right. Running a 4-lane lifelike. Let's see, what else do we got? Have you ever tried putting a moldable weight over the guide pin? That's technically not legal in a lot of places. You got to watch your rules and who you're racing with if that's actually legal or not. Massachusetts, Connecticut. So, yeah. So it's, sorry, Cameron, misspell check. So, yeah, gotcha. So, yeah, on the weighting your guide pin, that is a, depends on the rules and stuff. Like we run basically stock cars outside of the Fray class and the Fairgrounds class that we run. Everything else we run is stock. Except for rear tires, we are able to run a silicone rear tire as long as it fits a stock hub. Just to give you guys an idea of what we run here. We run everything from stock T-Jets, Fray cars, non-mags, Magna-Traction specialty chassis, non-mag specialty chassis, G+, AF, Mega Gs, Mega G+, 440X2s, HP2s, HP7s, Tyco Pros. So we run the gamut here with our group. So you got to have a lot of cars kind of saved up. That's why we're kind of sticking with the same classes with the points racing this year, so the newer people within the group can keep up. So it's nice to see everybody out there working and putting up where you're from and stuff. So if you guys haven't done that yet, please keep doing that so everybody that's watching knows where everybody's at, so we can kind of maybe make some connections here for some people who are looking for places to race. Hopefully you guys aren't in a lockdown situation and you guys can actually get some racing going on. Keeps costs down. Yeah. Freight cars can get expensive, especially if you're, wanting to compete with the guys that show up at the Fray every year. That's why, and that's probably one of the main reasons why we run stock cars throughout our group, is just to keep the costs down. If you want to start throwing stuff like Neo mod classes and all that kind of stuff in there, those things start to get expensive. So, where can I race in Chicago, northeast suburbs? I thought I saw him. Go back on the comments there, Ken. I thought there was somebody close to the Chicago area. If you can bring the comments up. So there is a lot of slot car racers I've noticed everywhere. Mr. John Perkins is up in Vancouver, so we do have a Canadian watching. And I know of a couple others up in the Canadian area as well. I think there's some up in Toronto, if I remember right. And I do have a lot of people from down in the southern hemisphere, in the South America area, especially Brazil and Argentina as well, that I know of, that are some huge slot car racers. And I know there's there's a few over in England as well. There's a couple of new groups I've noticed that have popped up running HO scale over in England as well. Outside of the Worthington, is it Worthington? I think it's the Worthington group that's on Facebook. They're looks like a great bunch of guys to race with. So, and I know there's a couple others that have popped up here recently on Facebook. There's some other groups in England have popped up. So if there's anybody here from overseas, and I also believe there is a couple in Germany and possibly Switzerland or Norway, probably Switzerland, one of the two, or not Switzerland, excuse me, Sweden. What they run in England is scale. They do run scale electrics, but I noticed the Worthington guys also run. They can get their hands on Mega Gs and Mega G pluses over there. They run those in a stock car style class. I've seen them run those, and I've seen them do a couple of races with Magna Traction cars. So they do have more than just scale electrics, the micro scale electrics cars. They probably cost them a little more to get parts and pieces because they got to get them from the States. But I have seen them run Mega Gs, Mega G pluses, and Super Gs. I'm not sure if they combine them all into one class or not like we do, but I have seen them run them. And they do some really cool stuff down there. Their tracks are different every single race weekend, so they take them apart, switch them around, put them back together, and make other racetracks. So it's kind of a neat thing to check out if you guys want to go check that out. They do have a YouTube channel, and they do have a Facebook group as well. They don't show their whole races. They just show glimpses and bits and pieces, but still, it's pretty cool. So if anybody else out there outside of us running Magna Attractions or non-Megs or G Plus cars on a regular basis? Just for a curiosity question. I know Harpa is actually thinking about having a Magna Attraction class at the Nationals. I know that for a fact, which would be kind of cool. Guys, ever want to check out their rules, go and check them out. Their rules pretty much map ours when it comes to stock kind of class cars. The only difference they have from us is they actually separate their canned cars from their non-canned cars. So they actually separate their Mega G Pluses from their Mega Gs and their SRT turbos from everything else. Do all clubs have the same Fray rules? Close. Pretty much they do, Kurt. I know there's some variances between them, but I do believe that most Fray rules are pretty close to the same. They may differ in what parts are legal and not legal. I know that's probably the grayest area between groups, is what is legal approved parts compared to what other people run. So you might want to look at their, if you're planning to run with somebody, you might want to look at their parts list of what's approved and what's not approved. I know you pretty much usually everybody maps their Fray rules on the Fray and Ferndale, and then they go from there. So you might want to check that out, and then if they have a group page or something with their rules or something, go check their Fray rules out and see how much they match between the Fray and Ferndale and theirs. Because I do know some people don't okay certain motor magnets. They don't okay certain armatures from certain vendors. And I think that's pretty much it. And plus you've got with RC's new Wizard chassis, it has not been approved by every group yet. So you might want to check out their what parts are approved rules. But outside of that, they're pretty much the same when it comes to the build, as far as I know. I have not seen rules that vary too much from the Fray and Ferndale rules. And then the way they run their races may vary differently from the way the Fray runs theirs. But the car rules are basically the same. Wichita Fray Group allows slip-on rear tires with flange. Yeah, that's one of the biggest things there too. Thanks for saying that, Jeff. Is the rear tires? A lot of people will allow. Like out here on the West Coast, like in the Bay Area, they actually separate their Fray car with silicone over foams, and they actually have a Fray class slip-on class, which basically they both have the same rule set. It's just one car can run slip-ons and the other car runs silicone over foams, where a lot of other groups will allow you to run either silicone over foams or slip-ons. So it just depends on the class. Yeah, the slip-ons are a lot cheaper, and you can, and they're getting to where they're getting lower and lower and lower. I noticed RTHO has some great wheel and tire sets now, and you can get them almost as low diameter as you can get the silicone over foams. So I did order some the last time I ordered before we went to the Fray, so we could have some, because the Fray, the IROC race at the Fray, they actually are required to run slip-ons there. So you actually have to have two chassis to go to the Fray if you want to run the IROC race. Because basically silicone over foams run from anywhere from $10 to about $15, I think, a pair, depending on who you get them from. And slip-on over foam or slip-on tires over rims, I think rims are, you're probably looking at about $6, I think, total for tires and hubs, maybe $8. So you are saving a couple of dollars by running slip-ons over the silicone over foam tires. And of course, you got to consider, you got to throw in there too, you got to consider what tracks you're running on. If you're running mostly on routed racetracks, there is an advantage to running silicone over foams rather than slip-ons because you're going to get better grip. If you're running more clip-together tracks, you don't necessarily have to run a silicone over foam tire to run well on that racetrack. The slip-ons will just do just as good, and in some cases actually do better depending on how rough the racetrack is. So you got to take that into consideration as well, depending on where you're from and what type of racetracks you're running on. Whether you're running on routed racetracks or whether you're running on clip-together racetracks. Where here, our group kind of covers the gamut when it comes to that. We have one routed, we have 3 AFX clip-together tracks, and we have one original lock and pin racetrack. So we kind of have to see what we're going to do with Jim's cars at Jim's house, whether we're going to run Fray there or not, or whether we want to actually build a Fray-specific car for that racetrack. Because it'll have to be late 90s, early 2000 Fray rules if we want to do that, because that's what about the time frame that they were still running a lock and joiner tracks at the Fray. Check that. So, what's everybody's favorite kinds of cars to run out there? Are you guys, originalists? Do you guys like T-Jets and Fray cars and non-mags and Magna Tractions G+, or are we Mega G Plus, Super G, SRT Turbo, 44X2 kind of group? Me, I like basically everything, but I kind of gravitate towards AFX, non-mag, and G+, just because of the bodies you can run with them. I love the older bodies, everything. Yeah, excuse me. That's kind of my preference. I love the new Fray cars. I love the new bodies that they're coming out with and everything for the Fray cars. I love that you're getting some more exotics and whatnot. It would be kind of cool to see, like Jeff was saying, it would be cool to see some older cars. T-Jets and original AFX. I prefer Viper G Plus Pro with the hard body clip, so I can use AFX and Tyco bodies. That's something I need to get. I need to get a Viper for a review. I gotta get one of those and do a review of it and put it up against our Super Gs and our Mega Gs and stuff and see what it does. Had a shot at going down to Viper last year. I was hoping to be able to do a Super G Plus Tyco Wizard. I had a shot to go down there because my nephew graduated and he lived in that area where Wizard was, and I was hoping to be able to go in and do an interview for you guys and do some stuff, and then Shopco went out of business and had to change jobs, and it was right at the time when my family was going down to watch him graduate, and I couldn't get the time off. So kind of sucked that I had an opportunity for that, and it kind of went out the window a little bit there. But I'm hoping maybe we can do that some other time. Due to price and availability, Auto World has the most popular. Yeah, I'm not a huge Auto World fan. T-Jets and original G Pluses from Kurt. So, yeah, Auto World. I'd like to see Auto World SS Fray, which, by the way, if everybody doesn't know, if you are in an area and they run super stock cars, a lot of times they'll refer to Fray cars as SS or super stock. T-Jet G Plus. What was I talking about? I can't remember. I lost my train of thought. What was I talking about? Somebody help me out here. So that would be, let's see what we got going on here. So we've got a lot of T-Jets, some AFX, some G Plus, Super G Plus Tyco Wizard. So there's some from the Darwin Speedway and Raceway there. That must be some of our Australian boys. feel sorry for you guys trying to get parts and pieces in Australia. Hopefully it's getting better for you guys. Oh, let's talk about Auto World. There we go. I'd love to see Auto World improve on their quality control a little bit. Maybe do some more going to the Viper to maybe make their chassis better, more reliable, better right out of the package, possibly even. I know you can't basically run one right out of the package against a car that's been running for a while. So that's something I'd like to see Auto World do. I'd like to see them improve. Problem with Auto World is they've got their hand in so many things, between the slot cars, the models, the diecast, and all that other stuff. I think that they're trying to focus on too much, and they're not focused on the slot. I don't think they realize how big the slot car industry is in the States. And I'd like to see them put a little more effort into the car, into the chassis. The bodies are great. I love the NASCAR cars. The NASCAR bodies look great. I'd like to see them diversify a little bit with their old Magna Traction style chassis and the T-Jet side. I'd like to see them come up with some new bodies that have never been seen before. Would be kind of cool. Instead of relying on the older molds from back in the day, just repeating what AFX and Aurora did back in the day, I'd like to see them maybe come out with something new, something we've never seen before, like AFX has done with the Ford GT and the new Porsche and the new Toyota that they came out with. I'd like to see Auto World go that route, produce some more stuff that isn't necessarily out there. Would be kind of cool. I'd love to see some more people get into the manufacturing of stuff, so the hobby can stay consistent and stay up. That's kind of why I was hoping that we could drive some interest with this channel for the younger generation. I know, Elijah's really into it, and Shaden's there at times, but I'd love to see some, and like the kids from the Harpa group, I love seeing that. Like to hopefully see some more younger people at the Fray show up and show us that this hobby is still growing and is still lively in the younger generations. If you guys are out there and you know some kids that get involved or want to get involved in your hobby, get them involved. We can't keep this hobby going if we don't get a younger base involved and build the hobby from a younger standpoint. So we're not going to be here forever, and we don't want this hobby to die when we leave. So let's try and promote it as best we can within our own little areas. If you know kids that have shown interest in it or whatnot, try and see if they can keep their interest built in it and help them out. Because you never know what you're going to find. You could find somebody, you end up like we did, have somebody kicking your ass, but, still. We're still trying to catch up to Elijah. But hopefully we can pull that off this year. What kind of silicone do you use? Is it the best out of there? The silicones that I was using, I have I've run super tires. I've gotten super tires from Slot and Stuff. There's a couple others that I think I need to absolutely, yes, got beat yesterday by a 14-year-old. It happens, Jeff. But I've tried super tires. I know Lucky Bob's has a huge list of tires and different manufacturers, and I want to go through and possibly buy some tires from there and do some reviews of different brands, especially when it comes to Magna Traction and non-Magna Traction for tires that fit a stock hub. Something I want to do, especially for those, especially for the three classes that I'm most worried about for tires is G+, AFX, and non-mag cars. They're with HOSlotCarRacing.com going out of business. I know Super Tires makes tires for those cars, and I want to explore some other tire options for you guys as well. So I know Lucky Bob's list. I can't remember the brands right off the top of my head. I know he has super tires. I know he has some other ones, so I want to order some more, and maybe we can do some comparisons between brands of tires for you guys, so we can do some comparisons, so you guys can get a good idea on what might be good to use, what might stay. The biggest problem with silicones is finding the one that fits the hub and stays on the hub. And whatever you do, key point, whatever you do, do not switch tires from chassis to chassis. Gel claws, there we go. That's the other one. Yeah. So it might be kind of interesting to do a gel claw super tire comparison between the two and find out which one's better. Find out which one has more grip, which one lasts longer grip-wise, which one stays on the hub better, all that kind of stuff. Would be kind of a cool episode to do. I'm about halfway to another $100 from YouTube, so hopefully, plus I get paid next week, and I'm thinking about buying a few things next week as well. So we might be able to do that here real soon and order some tires and do some comparisons, because I need to get some new Magna Traction tires before the point season starts. So maybe we'll have to do that here soon. Actually, I think, believe it or not, yeah, I believe that the tires I got from Slot and Stuff were gel claws, not super tires. So I'm correcting myself on that one. They were gel claws. So super tires is the one I need to try. I haven't tried them yet, so I might have to do that here soon. We'll order those from Lucky Bob, and we can do a tire review of tires. The other ones that I've had really good luck with, and I'm going to have to find out where I can get them from too on the magnet car side, is BSRT. I've had really good use with BSRT wheel and hubs on my super tires. I think super tires are the best. See, I know a lot of people that swear by super tires. I know some people that swear by gel claws too. So I think we need to put those two head to head and see which one is actually the best tire. But I was saying about BSRT, I've been using BSRTs on my Mega Gs, my Super Gs, and my SRT turbos, and I love those tires on those cars. They seem to last for a while. You can get the car lower to the racetrack. So, tune-up oil do you use? The one that I'm using right now is a BSRT micro oiler that I got from HORacing.com. I mean, you can probably get this from BSRT as well. I know there's a lot of other ones out there. I know there's some people that swear by their own mixtures. I know people that swear by automotive oil. I know people that swear by synthetic automotive oil. So it's the oil is kind of a dark art, and it just depends on what you find that works for you. So just start experimenting with your cars. Don't overdo it. We've been between AFX X2C, if you can find some. I haven't been able to find any in a while. I do have an old bottle of it up here, but it's empty. Might be able to try and find one of those. I think Viper has some that he's come up with as well. If you look on Viper's site, he has some listed there too. You are super tired, so I like the best. So, now you're sewing machine oil. Yeah, see, there's another one. So it's all about a preference. It's all about kind of experimenting with stuff. There's also a wide variety of how to oil your car. I mean, I've heard people go minimalist. I've heard people go the other direction where you just soak the frickin' thing. So I right now, it's kind of I have not been able to find a set way to oil your car. It's all preference. When we first went to the Fray, the first 2 years, it was minimal oil that you can actually put. They were actually putting it on the bottom with a brush. Here's another Labrador 202. And then this year we went, and they were the bottom of the car, they were lightly oiling it, but then they were soaking the top of the motor plate. So I really don't know what I tell you guys on oiling your car. It's basically just experiment and find out what works best for you and best for your car, and go with it. Is basically what I want to say about oiling and different types of oil and all that kind of stuff. So we've got people that swear by this, we got people that swear by that. It's just all about a matter of preference. There's no one set way to oil or the type of oil. So the only thing you don't want to do is use something that is really, really thick and heavy. Grease is not a really good option, and just make sure you kind of steer away from. That's kind of the problem with the Auto World cars. If you notice, they come with that white grease on the motor plate, and it doesn't work very well. You got to completely clean it. I tell my competitors to use 90 weight gear oil and use lots of. Says Mr. Evans, Jamie, I have a bottle of Eagle Green synthetic oil that have only used all a dot on the bottom of a 4-gear armature. So this is kind of why we do this, is so we can get everybody's opinion and get everybody out there and show everybody who's doing what, where, when, how, and all that kind of stuff. So the one thing you do want to do on the bottom of your cars for the armature is you really got to be careful, because you don't want, if you're on the pancake arms, you don't want that oil going through and mixing onto the motor, onto the commutator and getting on your motor brushes, because then the motor brushes soak that oil in and then they don't perform very well. So that's something you need to think about when you're oiling the bottom of your cars. You don't want to get a lot, because you don't need that oil getting into the motor brushes and letting the motor brushes soak in that oil, because then the motor brushes don't perform as well. Then you got to take them out, and then you got to go through the whole heat thing, or swap and put in a whole new set of motor brushes. So the top, like I said, the top of the gear plate, that's kind of a crapshoot right there when it comes to that. You can go minimalist or you can go over. It depends on what you guys want to do. If you're running your Magna Traction or your non-mags or your T-Jets. Your inline arm cars are pretty much the same. You don't really have the problem of the oil getting getting onto the commutator and getting into the motor brushes, because you've either got bushings or the block walls there, and it doesn't move as much on an inline car as it does on a pancake arm car. So that's another thing we got to kind of throw out there too, is what's your guys' thought on how you guys oil your inline cars? Because you've got basically you got 3 points, 3, 4, actually probably about 4 or 5 points on your inline cars. Free jet. All right. The lighter, the better. Hey Don, how you doing? See, there's Don. He's the old world style. Lighter is better. Life like T-Jet, stock T-Jet. Oh, so we must be talking about what we race. Okay. So, because you've got your front of your arm on an inline car, you've got your back of the arm on the inline car, and then you've got your gear and your pinion, and then you've got your axle holes as well. So you've got different, about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places to oil. So, and depending on whether you're running a complete axle all the way across on the front, which shouldn't be, or whether it's an independent front end, or whether you're running if you're running like a G Plus that has separate mount axles. Doing great. Cool. We're going to have to get together soon, Don. Talk and shoot breeze and maybe borrow a couple of things for some videos. And get you over to the new place so you can race. Mr. Breadwell is one of the members of our group here locally, who's been having some health issues off and on lately, and hopefully we can get him all well and better and get some racing out of him. Even though we're back in the basement again. So you will have to negotiate some stairs. But they're nice and wide, so hopefully you can get downstairs. Before you finish, I want to thank you for all you do to keep the hobby and sport alive. Keep up the great. Thank you, Jeff. Try to do my best. I may not know everything, but hopefully it helps everybody out. LOL. I guess it's called Liberty. Oh, synthetic oil, not Eagle. Sorry. That's all right, Jamie. So, been trying on that note, just trying to keep new things, trying to keep it fresh, trying to keep things interesting for you guys, trying to keep things interesting for me so I don't get burned out, and all that kind of stuff. So, I'm still working on finding parts for our brass chassis car. We're still working on parts for that. We've got to get back to the Super 2. and do some magnet stuff with that car. We haven't done that yet, and get that car tuned up and running. We still have to paint the body on that car and get it mounted on the chassis as well. So we still got that to do with the Super 2. I still have a Super 3 Auto World NASCAR car to review that I haven't reviewed yet. So we need to do that. Some other things I'd like to do, like I said, I'd like to do the tire thing. I'd like to do a Viper chassis review. I'd like to do get a hold of that new T-Jet chassis from Wizard, from RC, review it, and do a Fray build with that chassis. And there's a couple other things. The new Jag chassis for the hard bodies. I'd like to get one of those and do a review of that for you guys and see how the bodies fit, what bodies work with it, what bodies don't work with it, kind of thing. So we want to do that. Some other comparison things that we need to do. I think we've kind of done almost everything, but I would like to put up do an inline looking for a Super 2 top plate. Yeah, that might be a little hard, Jeff, but just keep putting the word out, and hopefully you'll be able to find one. It's running okay. I just got to do some. We got to get it. I want to do because I want to test the magnets that are in it, and then I want to test the other 2 sets of magnets that are in it, and that I have for it, and maybe we can do some mix and matching as well, to see if we can't get a set that's close to good with the same readings, so we can get a good balance and all that kind of stuff. I might even try and get a couple more sets of Super 2s from Super Dave if he still has some, and we can do some more mixing and matching and whatnot, and see what we can come up with the magnets and stuff. It runs really good the way it is now. We've had it on the track a couple of times, but I want to see if we can't even get some more out of it. So be on the lookout for that. We'll get back to that here real soon. What else should we want to do? There's some other chassis I'd like to get a hold of as well, that I don't have for the collection, so we can do some other things. I'm looking out for a. I think I pretty much have everything in Aurora. What matching magnets are you talking about? The sides facing the motor? Actually, I've been turning them. If you watch the video where I showed you guys how to use the magnet meter that I got, I have been reading both sides, and what you're doing is you put it on it, and you put it on it upright, and you get a reading that way. This one's kind of, it's not one that reads the whole, it'll read points of the magnet or the face of the magnet. It reads, it's more of a downforce meter, but you can match your magnets close to it. I did a couple for my magnet traction car, and it really helped. That should be Super 2, but Super 2 is a fun chassis to run. Yeah, that should be super. Yeah, so we're gonna. Speaking of the Super 2, I did get the tires trued up on it, so that's all ready to rock and roll that way as well. I do have one tire that on the inside has a little intake on it, but most of the tire is pretty much done. Yeah, that's one I don't have either, Don. I don't have a vibrator chassis. I need to get a vibrator. I don't have a Tough Ones or a what's the other one? There's the Tough Ones, and there was the one that was before the Tough Ones car. So I need to get those two. I'd like to have also a F1 T-Jet chassis, which Elijah has. You need a vibrator. Jim, what's going on? I'd like to have an F1 chassis T-Jet as well. A vibrator. Yeah, you guys are funny. I'd also like to have a truck chassis T-Jet and the I don't know if the Dune Buggy chassis is different from the truck chassis, but I'd like to have all of the T-Jet range of chassis there. Wide ones, wild ones. That's it. Yeah. Tough Ones and a Wild Ones. I don't have those two. I'd like to have one that I know is a Wild Ones and I know is a Tough Ones, because I know that there's been a lot of interchanging of parts between armatures and magnets between those two cars. So I'd like to have one that I know is a stock Wild Ones and a stock Tough Ones, just so I have one. On the Tyco side, Jag TR3 inline TJ chassis, which I have a TR3. That's what these are right here. So I got that car. Those are cool. I love mine. On the Tyco side, I don't have a Tyco S, which is really, really hard to get a hold of. I do not have a Tyco, a first gen Tyco Pro. I have the second gen cars. I don't have the first gen car. And then outside of that, I have a 440. I have a 44X2. So the only ones on the Tyco side that I'm missing are, and I might be missing some of the HP2 variants within the HP2 because I know there's like 4 or 5 chassis. Simline is under the IndyCar body, I believe. Yeah, it is. Yeah. I know there's several variants. I have like 2 or 3 of the HP2. I have the original HP2. I have the HP2 Curve Hugger. I have the later gen HP2 that has the traction magnets in the back of it. And then I have the older HP2 that has the open gear on the back, I believe. And I think there's might be 1 or 2 other ones that are around there. So wouldn't mind having that. I have, when it comes to the Rocor, AMREC, and Lifelike gens, the only thing I do not have is a Rocor that's the AMREC when it carried over. I have a Rocor and an M chassis Lifelike from the carryover, but I don't have the switch over from the AMREC to the Rocor era. I do not have any Tyco S series. I was just talking about that. That's one of the Tycos I don't have. The new Wizard chassis, all the arms and magnets for them. Want to build some. Yeah, Jim. I got to get all that too. So, those are some of the ones I'm missing. I'd like to get some of the more obscure cars. I'd like to try and do some slotless stuff. I know some people on the channel have asked for slotless cars. Stan does have a working full Ultra 5 set that I might ask to borrow. It is open. It's not sealed, so I wouldn't be destroying it in that way. It had the cars. It has everything. It was actually bought here local. His son bought it at one of the antique stores for him. So I might ask him to borrow that to do a review of it and kind of play around with the Ultra 5 slotless cars, which would be kind of cool. I have looked at the accelerators sets on eBay. That I've seen some reasonable prices, but the shipping on them is outrageous. So that's something I might try and see if we can't do down the road as well. If we can get some revenue going a little bit between YouTube and the shirt sales and whatnot. Maybe we can get some money built up that we can buy a couple of the slotless sets to play around with and do reviews of and show you guys. Whoa, big shot here. Okay, let's see what Tyco has. I ran mine against the T-Jet skinny tire yesterday and was halfway competitive. So is that the Wizard one there? Or the S car? Must have been the S chassis. I bet you if you tune it up, you could probably make it pretty quick, Jeff. I have to remove one magnet to run my Wizard Storm. Probably got too much downforce, Carl. That's what that sounds like. Are you running on a clip together track or a routed track? Because you may have rail height issues, might be your problem there. Do you have a dash chassis? I do have a dash chassis, but it's the first gen dash chassis. I would like to have the current dash chassis. I need to get one of those as well and do a review of it. I did not have much luck with the dash chassis that I got, and it was right around the time when he was having issues. So I need to pick up a new one of those and do a new review of that as well, so I can help you guys out with that as well. I need to order I want to get at least 2 or 3 from him of the newer dash chassis. What else? What were we talking about here? It would be kind of cool to run to do a T-Jet Tyco S Aurora vibrator comparison between the 3 of those. All the very first commercial cars would be kind of cool to do. We could put some together. I think Stan may have. just reacquired a new a Tyco S. I know he had one back in the day and he ended up selling it, and he's been rebuying stuff, and he may have picked one up. Might be a good thing to do a review of and see how they work. Never had one of those as a kid. That's kind of beyond my my time, before my time. When I was a kid, I got my first slot car sets in the mid 70s. So my cars were Tyco HP2s was my first foray into slot cars, and then I eventually got a Magna Traction car, and then I eventually got a G Plus car. So never knew about T-Jets until I started racing slot cars again and got introduced back into it, and then Breadwell and Don Jump introduced me to T-Jets and non-mag, and then I got in too deep. So leave some comments about what do you have the Dash Mondo chassis? No, I don't. No, that's something I need to some other stuff I need to get involved with. Need to get some more review stuff built up for you guys so we can do some more reviews of some newer products and whatnot. I'd love to get my hands on the new AFX, the Toyota and the Porsche bodies, and do a review of those because they look really cool. But as far as I know, they're both set cars and they aren't. They're not selling them singly yet. So hopefully, I can get one of those here real soon to show you guys a review of. We have the Peugeot, we have the Audi, so I'd like to get those two as well to go along with those. So anything else everyone wants to chat about here? What do we got? We've been on for an hour and 16. We're gonna have to wrap this up here pretty soon. I got some stuff I need to do outside for my wife before she gets back. She wants me to put the swing together and our two-seat swing and stuff and put it on the porch and whatnot. But we'll stay on here for a little bit more. Oh, here we go. What we got going on here? Monday. My favorite Dash chassis is the clear with the glow-in-the-dark chassis. He's done some pretty cool stuff with the chassis colors and whatnot. Have any stock auto roll that smoked a new... Have a stock auto roll that smoked the new Mondo grip. Ooh, that's interesting. Saw the new hop-up motor for the Mega G Plus on eBay. Oh! For the Mega G or Mega G Plus? Because I don't think it can change the arm in the Mega G Plus because it's a cam motor. That's something else I need to do. We need to take I need to buy a Mega G chassis and do a teardown on it for you guys and see how it comes apart. I don't want to do it to the ones I've got because if I fuck it up, or if I break it, I don't want to ruin one of my cars. So I might have to do that for you guys too, because we've never done a teardown on a Mega G Plus car. That might be something. I've built many new Dash chassis with great success. Yeah, I know he's worked out a lot of his issues with the Dash chassis and stuff. I need to get some similar to the sealed ones, but with a hole in it. I might have to look that up and see. But that's something else I'd like to do, is do a Mega G teardown for you guys as well. They have hot can arms for the Mega G Plus. Okay. I kind of thought somebody one of these times would eventually come out with a hot cam motor. HR, are you thinking about drag strip? I haven't been personally. We do have the room now for a drag strip, so that might be a possibility here down the road. Stan is working on wants to do one at his house, and he's been working on how to do that, and I think he's finally figured it out, so we might have one there. And the other one is Mark has the Auto World drag strip, and we've played around with it a little bit. So we have talked about it. We have looked into it a little bit, and we might be doing that here down the road for you guys as well. So that might be kind of cool to do too. I might have to get one myself of the Auto World drag strips and maybe do a review of it and show it, because it's actually pretty cool. We had a lot of fun at Mark's house one day messing around with his, doing just some stock stuff. So I think my wife's home. We've been on for almost an hour and 20 minutes, so I'm going to cut it off here. Hope you guys had fun. We're gonna have to do this more often, and have some fun doing it. Keep the comments rolling. Even after the video's over, keep commenting, keep talking, and keep everything up, and I'll get back to you guys through the comments and whatnot. And sorry I'm going to do this, but I'm going to pitch it. Go check out spreadshirt.com/slotcar-crazy. There is new shirts up if you haven't looked. Go check it out. I am working on a couple of other ones for you guys too to put up. Don't forget to go check out slotcarcrazy.com. Jim's doing a great job there. Thank you, Jim. Hope to see you soon too. Jim Betts there, who's in the comments, is the guy that runs that for us and does all the work at slotcarcrazy.com. Don't forget to go check that out right there as well. Great websites, great news, great all kinds of stuff there that you guys can find there. And if you guys know of anything we don't have up on slotcarcrazy.com, let us know. Let Jim know. And if you guys know of a place to get parts, or another group page or website or something that you think is good that you guys use, let Jim know, and he'll get it up on the site as well. Slot Car Sweden, how you doing? Jim does a great job there, and he's doing a lot of great work there as well, so go check that out and support us there as well. And have a great week. We'll be back next week with a bi-weekly future car, and I think I've still got a couple I haven't shown you guys yet. So we'll be back with that, and then in 2 weeks, we're going to be, hopefully the track will be up and running, and we'll have everything done, and maybe we'll do some of the magnet stuff with the Super 2 and get that all checked out. So I'll catch you guys later. I'm out. Bye.